their fabric, no matter how many times a young woman scoffs at their door opening or displays of respect. Chivalry is not a chauvinistic affront. But I see the challenges ahead becoming more difficult as girls and young women climb the ladders of success and our boys remain stagnant. That spells serious trouble down the road for all of them. My college sons are aware of knee-jerk accusations. They take...
Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We'll see you on Monday with Rob Finnerty at 6:30.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural-derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. Most conventional cloning techniques today can produce genetic drift along with disease and bugs, resulting in lower product quality and consistency. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. Our proven proprietary technologies allow us to produce pharma-grade cannabis and hemp flower tops. PharmaGreen's services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. We're determined to be one of the top suppliers of tissue-cultured starter plantlets and producers of the highest quality flower tops of cannabis and hemp. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our updates at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Represents the illumination of a crypto decentralized finance space through education and charity. And the guiding principles are unity, clarity, and security. And with me, Brian Lawrenson and Adam Beer, the CEO and CFO, right?
Yes,
I got that right? So, and founders. You're both founders of the company, too.
Yes,
so I know we talked once on Zoom. Great to meet you in person. Just give me summarize what GLOW is all about.
So GLOW, we're a token that gives back. We're all about our community. We have a charity and we also have a lottery. So we have a couple of different things that are, I guess, working for us to help, give to the community. Mm-hmm. We are a passive income, dividend giving token. 10% of all transactions actually go back out to the holders in the form of BUSD. Okay. Which is a stable coin.
Okay.
As far as the charity goes, we have a monthly charity vote that is actually picked by the community. They pick all the selections, and at the end of the month, we cut a check. We actually try to go out and meet the people that we give the charity check to, and you know, try to connect on that personal level.
So that's the true decentralization, is the community picks through a vote, I guess, right?
And our first charity, which was in December, went to a community member, Keith. And now the January charity is going to Kika in the Netherlands. It's a child cancer-free center. So I'll be flying to the Netherlands on Sunday to go donate that personally. And
this sounds like a kind of a fun thing too. You get a little travel and
when we do it, we try to go online and share that experience with everybody, because everybody that bought into Glow is a part of that donation. So.
Now you're based in Georgia, right?
Yes.
But you're global. These are global charities, so.
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't have to be in the United States, or
exactly.
Yeah.
And our community, our investors are global, so they all get a voice in where the money goes, and it's their company. That's the way I look at it.
So let's say I put $1,000 into Glow, then what does that get me? I get to vote, right, on the charity, and what else?
So you'll get a percentage of every buy and sell. There's a tax on it, 15% tax, and 10% goes back to every holder in USD, like Brian stated. And then a percentage goes to the charity, and then we also have two lotteries. We have an hourly lottery that whatever the amount is at the hour, it goes out to that one a random holder. And then also we have a $10,000 lottery, and that goes out when it hits 10,000. We have a live draw on. So.
And that goes to the token holders.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Got
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
So Safe Moon, right, is like a key partnership that you're announcing.
Yes.
What is Safe Moon? How does that help Glow?
So we just partnered with Safe Moon, awesome community. They have one of the best communities that I've seen besides our own. And they are kind of the pioneers in reflection tokens. They have their reflections go out in their own token, but they emphasize their specialty is security, convenience, right? They bring that to crypto as a whole, and they're really changing the game and how crypto's looked at.
And they got one of the strongest communities that I've ever got to meet with and personally speak to. Their community is around 700,000 holders.
Oh goodness!
Very close. They're a very large community. Super great people. I mean, just all of them have been, very friendly. We actually got to do a couple AMAs with them. Not necessarily on the Safe Moon side, but with some of their community hosts. We've done a podcast the other night. It went well. We got to speak to around 7,000 different holders. We got a actual AMA with Safe Moon at the beginning of March for their Safe Moon Sunday, and we get to speak on there or speak with them. It's pretty exciting.
What's an AMA? Explain.
It's basically a question and answer session. It's where you get to actually talk about your project, your token, explain to their community what we are. We can show them, the full transparency of the company, explain to them, kind of like we do here, teach them about our token.
Well, thank you so much, Brian and Adam, for coming to the stock exchange and explaining that.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural-derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Berry, and this is New to the Street. Let's welcome Vulcan Forged, a blockchain-based game studio and NFT market. Its CEO, Jamie Thompson, is joining us today. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Happy to have you join us today. And you're joining us from Greece. Your headquarters are there. Lucky you, man.
I know. Everyone does say that, but unfortunately, the heat does get a bit boring after a week or so. But yeah, compared to the UK, it is a heaven.
I understand that. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history and what you've created at Vulcan Forged.
Sure. Well, I guess we were a game studio first. We sort of made the transition to blockchain a couple of years ago. We kind of saw the potential of NFTs pretty much a bit of a time before some of the bigger NFT sites came about. So we're a little bit ahead of the curve there, but no one was really sort of biting the bait. So we kind of packed that up and went back into gaming. And then we saw the NFT wave come back again. And we thought, right, we need to sort of really get back on where we were. So I guess we just make games mostly. And we sort of add the ownership of NFTs to these games. We've got Vulcan behind me, which is like a big virtual world where you can own beasts and swords and shields and sow your land and build your land sort of. And I guess that's what we kind of see the metaverse is. It's sort of a virtual world which has got an economy inside it.
Well, and let's dive deeper into that, because I think, at least for myself, I'm getting more used to the word metaverse, right? But what does it really mean for myself as a consumer? And what does it mean for you as a company?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I think the term metaverse is so new. It's undefined still. I think everyone's sort of trying to get not even an understanding of it, but trying to get a sort of definition from it. You've got the likes of Facebook and I think Sony and Microsoft are kind of going down the whole holograms, VR, augmented reality kind of sort of way of a metaverse, like a futuristic world. And you've got sort of companies like myself, which are going down the blockchain route, which is like the idea of ownership and an economy within these virtual worlds. So I think it's still yet to be defined. I don't think for a consumer, I think they're probably going to ignore it for the most part, for the most of the year, until there is some sort of solid idea of, who's doing what in the metaverse, what does it mean, what are the cool people doing. So yeah, it's all very much sort of, it's in its roots at the moment.
Well, let's hash out this gaming market, right? So it's 2022. What are some cool technologies that you all offer, and what separates you from the competition? Why would someone jump into the Vulcanverse?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I think last year we had this sort of view that like gaming's an enormous market and cryptocurrency and blockchain's an enormous market. Let's combine the two and create like an even bigger market. But what we've seen over the year, especially with our own communities, and we've seen some responses from bigger gaming companies for them introducing NFTs, is that they're very distinct markets. A lot of gamers don't want or need, and actually some of them are very hostile to the idea of NFTs playing a part in the games. They just want games. They don't care if they own it. They don't care about blockchain. Whereas the crypto gamers sort of care more about how much can they earn. So you've got these kind of two different sort of demographics, which we thought would combine into one bigger one, but it's not the case. So games like Vulcanverse, which I wouldn't even call it a game anymore. I think it's more of a sort of virtual world where there is an economy within it. I think this is a whole new demographic coming out from within. So competition-wise, it's very small. I mean, you've got ourselves, you've got Sandbox, Decentraland, you've probably only got 4 or 5 functional metaverses in the blockchain space still, so it's very early. And I think a few of us probably thought in the back of our mind, maybe the big game studios will come out and sort of trounce us with these amazing sort of graphics and teams, but it seems to be the opposite. Like the gaming market aren't so interested in the blockchain gaming sphere.
Well, you seem to have great graphics, right? So tell me a little bit about your approach to this, because it was really fun going down the rabbit hole, researching what you are and how does where you live influence it? Obviously, you're in Greece, and this has kind of that Greco-Roman style to it. I mean, I personally want to just jump on in and put on a crown and just rule the world. Is that kind of how you entice people?
Yes, absolutely, Anna. Well, thank you for the compliment on the graphics, and you have every right to jump in and rule the world and try your best. I mean, that's sort of one beautiful thing about Vulcanverse specifically is that you can start to play with no money, and you can work your way. It's called a grind. You sort of forage a few materials, sell them, and you can literally work your way up to a king or queen in your case, and rule the world. So I guess. Yeah, that's the appeal for where we are. And I guess the difference between us and other metaverses, of course, we're good friends with all the other sort of metaverses, so we wouldn't say anything negative about them, is that we obviously do have sort of better graphics and better gameplay, and it's more an immersive experience. But again, as we've gone on, we found out that isn't the essential reason to keep people. The reason people are involved in Vulcanverse, the graphics are cool, and Greco-Roman mythology is really cool, is it's just a sense of sort of economy and community, owning things, trading things. It is like a real life, but within a virtual world. So I think that's the real appeal of it all.
Well, Jamie, hash that out a little bit more. Talk about your pay-to-earn gaming option. What exactly do you own there, and how do you do that?
Yeah, so play to earn and ownership of blockchain are sort of two separate things. So play to earn is a very simple concept, which is so the more you play, the more you earn. Axie Infinity was one of the big pioneers of that last year, and they blew up. But unfortunately, that simple it's an unsustainable model where you play more and you get paid, because that money's got to come from somewhere, and it's bound to end up in some inflationary rates, and it's not sustainable. So what we've done with our play to earn model is you earn, but you're sort of forced to reinvest the money back into the ecosystem to kind of keep an equilibrium with how much you're earning and how much has been put into the game. And I think that's where gaming companies have an advantage. They'll be able to gamify a bit more of the earnings and the revenue. So sort of, those addiction techniques and sort of intermittent reinforcement with flashing lights where you have to put the money back in, the quarter back in the machine. That'll be used more. And the other side of it is the ownership. And this for me is the fascinating part of it, and why we got into blockchain gaming. It's just no one can take something away from you on blockchain. The NFT craze. I mean, if you own a sword in Vulcanverse and there are only 100 swords, that's it. The company, no other player, we cannot take that sword away from you. So it gives it this intrinsic value of scarcity and rarity that they sell for ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, we gave all of this stuff out for free in the end, and some people are selling for tens of thousands of dollars because there's only 100 of them. And I think that's where things were really going to boom, because of that economy that's shaped.
And are you using your own coin? Do you have a coin-based technology that you guys use?
Yes, we use PYR, which is ancient Greek for fire. Now with the Westerners, we bastardize it a little bit and call it pyre, like pyro, like pyromaniac, and peer. People always thought what it stands for, but it was a very clever ancient Greek name for fire. Peer. And yes, you're right about being based in Greece with the Greco-Roman mythology. It's great for us because all my staff are Greek. So we've got like law on tap. I can just, so what does Hermes do? What was his history? And everyone just knows it like we would know, I don't know, the Battle of Hastings in England or Christianity or anything that we get to. Right. They know all the Greek gods and stuff.
So you're on point with what you're doing, and thank you so much for joining us again on New to the Street, and we look forward to seeing what future updates you have in store for us.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you all for watching.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Tonix is a biotech company working to fight COVID-19 with 2 different next-generation COVID vaccine candidates, an antiviral, and also a treatment for long COVID. And with me is CEO Seth Lederman to explain where they are in this fight. And Seth, I look forward to your update because I know the last time we talked, you were working on a vaccine as well. So looks like you've got a broad number of candidates here, broad number of products to fight COVID. Can you bring me up to date on what you've got going?
Thank you, Jane. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, we're working in a number of different ways on COVID because no one could have predicted how wily this virus could be, how much it's mutating, how much it's frustrating all of our efforts to evade it. Currently, there are 3 arms to the fight against COVID: the mRNA vaccines, the antivirals, and the monoclonal antibodies. And what we're finding is that the existing mRNA vaccines have limited abilities. They have short duration of protection, only 4 to 6 months, and they don't block forward transmission. On the antivirals, really you have remdesivir from Gilead as being the anchor of the antiviral treatment. And that's already had some resistant strain documented against it. The Pfizer drug is very interesting, but it's limited because it can't be taken by many people who are older on other medicines. And then finally, the monoclonal antibodies. There were 4 approved, and now 2 of them have been shown not to work against Omicron, so they aren't working. So we're not in a good position right now as a country, as humanity, in terms of fighting COVID. So Tonix is proud to have many programs underway. We really think that by having more programs underway, we're able to take the expertise we have in animal models, in looking at the human immune response, and in understanding the virus itself to bring forth better candidates. Mm-hmm. So one of our vaccines is a live virus vaccine, TNX 1800, and we believe that will provide durable immunity, for years, decades, maybe a lifetime, because it's in a live virus vaccine vector. We have an antiviral that has recently been studied by NIAID, that's Dr. Tony Fauci's division, and shown to be 65 times more potent than remdesivir, and to work together with remdesivir in an additive way. And then also long COVID, huge problem. About a third of people who recover from COVID get long COVID, and we have a treatment that we expect to be in clinical trials this half to start to address long COVID.
Is there efficiencies in working on all 4 of these, even though they're not exactly the same thing? Is there some overlap that helps with the development?
Yes. And that's an excellent question. And that's why we are working on them, because we do feel that we can take the expertise in, large animal models, non-human primates, small animals, hamsters, mice, et cetera, and then also, in tissue culture in the lab, that all of those are similarly used across the different modalities, and we have expertise in all three. Furthermore, we're studying in two programs that we've publicly disclosed, CoVLogic and Precision. We're studying the human immune response to COVID. So together, all of these things give us, I think, an advantage of seeing a bigger picture and in efficiently studying these different things. And also, as I think we spoke about last time, we have a approximately 40,000 square foot facility in Frederick, Maryland that is dedicated completely to, virus, antiviral vaccine research. Frederick, Maryland is right in the heart of the biotech corridor. And not only that, the biodefense and pandemic preparedness corridor of Maryland. And, that's a very important aspect in our ability to run these programs and really contribute to the fight against COVID.
Well, thank you, Dr. Letterman, for explaining that, and good luck on your efforts. And it's a fight I think we're going to be fighting for quite some time.
Thank you, Jane.
Thanks.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Secure is a private, secure email messaging system. The company also has some new features coming out for businesses as well very soon. With me is CEO Alon Gahi to talk more about this. And Alon, I love, it seems like every time we talk once a week, and there's always some kind of hacking or security issue. And this week it's that some Mac users think that Zoom is listening to them, even when you're not on Zoom. What do you know about that?
That's it. There's a hack every hour. We could have tons of content, but we don't have enough time. So the latest article is Mac users are reporting more and more that Zoom is recording their conversation and listening to it. So it's not surprising. It's like when WhatsApp got caught, Facebook got caught, when they found out that their contractors based overseas, mind you, were listening and recording to your conversation. And the excuse was, we want to improve your user experience. That's the most pathetic.
The language skills too. That was another one.
It's like the language skill, the other one could be, it's the most pathetic excuse that these big tech companies are all using. And the reason why, because when they get caught, and once in a while, like Zoom did last year, they pay $100 million in fines to some European Union. They're the only ones in the EU. They're trying to hammer down on these guys, but they're the lone soldier over there, and once in a while they pay $100 million to shut them up, and that's it. I mean, that's pathetic. So if you use Zoom, because a lot of people use it, and I have to hand it to them, they have a very good tool. So it works really well, better than the other solutions that I have seen. So if you use Zoom and you have a Mac, what I recommend is uninstall the application completely. So don't just shut it down. You have to uninstall it, restart your computer, and then when you have another Zoom conference, just reinstall the app. It's unfortunate, but that's probably the best way you can protect yourself against people listening and recording to your conversation, from corporate secret all the way to your most intimate conversations at home with your family. And obviously, we're going to come up with solutions so people don't have to suffer like that anymore.
Yeah, that's just uncalled for. Listening to people's at-home conversations, I mean, come on. So now, I don't know, you mentioned the EU. You may have heard that Texas's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against Facebook over their facial recognition and the data collection, which they've since disabled. But Texas is making the argument that they did this for 10 years and would tag people through facial recognition, even people who weren't Facebook users on the site, and encourage you to tag them. And so I feel like there's starting to be a little bit, mainly among these AGs, these attorneys general, that are fighting against some of this stuff.
Well, thank God for Texas and some of the other states, I have to say, because they're the only ones that have the guts to stand up to these trillion-dollar companies, mind you. So a lot of countries don't even have a trillion-dollar economy. Most of the countries in the world don't. And here we have one guy with his company worth $1 trillion. So yes, they are starting to do that. I have to say Europe was the first. And then when Facebook, Zuckerberg says, well, we won't provide Facebook in Europe if we can't steal the people's data, literally what it means. Because they said, if we can't take the data, we're just not going to provide the service. Both the German chancellor and the French president said, fine, they're great. The chancellor was hacked and hasn't used Facebook in 4 years by his own admission. And it's like, fine, take it away. The thing is that people have the power. It's a cliche thing, but it really is true. Mm-hmm. If you use your Facebook, you're giving power and money, not only to Facebook and big tech, but down the road to those in totalitarian government, like in China, for example. Mm-hmm. Facebook is bowing to China so much that they're now suspending accounts of U.S. citizens in the U.S. I'm not talking about an account that's in China. An account that's in the U.S. is being, let's say, held froze for 24 hours because they may have set some objective observation about the Chinese totalitarianism, what's happening with their minorities and whatever, their political system, their lack of freedom and so forth. So Facebook is now suspending U.S. citizens' account because some poor person said something maybe not so great about China. So it's about time that Texas and frankly all the other states should put Facebook to put in their place, because these companies, Facebook is not alone. They will basically take away all your freedom, all your rights, all your civil rights, slowly, bit by bit. And the more you're dependent on these companies, the more they will take your freedom. So the idea is shut down your account. You don't need to tell the world every 15 minutes what you're doing. There are other alternatives than Facebook.
Awesome. And we're going to do what we can to get the word out so people know there is a alternative to what we have.
To cut you, and on the video conferencing, we are launching Secure Pro, which is our alternative to video conferencing like Zoom. That will come probably at the end of Q2 or in July. It'll be about $35 to $50 per person. It will have the video conferencing, the voice encryption, email, and messaging. So the whole gamut. And we're launching Secure Voice, which is voice encryption. That's coming in Q2 sometime. We're hoping in the month of May. So exciting stuff happening. And finally, you won't have to give your entire data to China or Facebook when you make a video conferencing tool and you discuss people's medical information or your company's, top secret IP that you developed, and it won't go to an outsider for sale, because we guarantee that we don't data mine it and your information belongs to you.
Okay. Well, thank you. I look forward to more updates and looking forward to meeting you in person very soon.
Likewise, looking forward to it. Very excited.
Very great. Thanks, Alon, so much.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Sibannac is a cannabis-based research and development company offering premium cannabis products. And with me is CEO David Mirsky to explain all about Sibannac. And let's start with the name of the company, David, because it fooled me a little. So tell me about Sibannac. How did you get the name?
Yes. Well, I did not make up the name. When I came into the company, the company was operated as an online ad platform that was open to cannabis advertisers. So hence the name Sibannac is cannabis in reverse. When I took it over, however, we decided in the outgoing management to pivot and go into a new direction. And that has brought us into where we are today as a really cutting edge leader in product development, not only in cannabis, but next generation wellness. And that's really what Sibannac is going to be as a platform in the products and the brands that we are bringing to market in this coming year.
So give me a little history of the company. When were you founded? Talk about that.
The company's about 15 years old and had operated in another space and then migrated to cannabis in the online ad space. And in about 2017, I took over the reins, and we immediately decided to pivot and investigate the unbelievable future in cannabis and overall wellness products. So we did start in conventional CBD following passage of the Farm Bill, which allowed companies like us to manufacture cannabis-based products that didn't compete with the licensed cannabis market in marijuana, and formulate all kinds of CBD products that you see on the shelf today. However, the company is a much more expanded platform than where we started. We do have an FDA registered food facility where we conduct research and development and do contract manufacturing for third-party brands, as well as now we're getting really deeply involved in investigating, developing cutting-edge products that have CBD and other cannabis or cannabinoids in their ingredient profiles, but other products and ingredients we're looking at that are quite different and not based on cannabis at all, but all focused on a premium consumer looking for a really highly formulated product to address the needs of the consumer today, which are anxiety, relaxation, pain, and sleep, and the like. And we're using ingredients that aren't really common in the marketplace today.
So it sounds like you do a lot of research and development as well.
A lot of research and development. We have a great team that is very experienced in the supplement space through formulating products with different delivery systems. We're using patented technology now using copper-1 as an ingredient that is phenomenal for immunity. And we are investigating products using kratom now, which is based on a compound called metragenine, which is an Asian plant that's in the coffee family that has been very successful in helping to alleviate chronic pain.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's very exciting to hear about Sibannac today and what all you're doing. And I look forward to more interviews as we get updates.
Thank you so much.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
GTX Corp is a health and safety wearables company with a particular focus on health technology with medical devices, equipment, and other things. And with me, CEO Patrick Bertagna, to talk about something. So Patrick, I saw some videos on YouTube and elsewhere about the longevity revolution that your company's behind. So explain that. What is that?
Well, simply said, we want to build technology. We are building technology that makes life for people longer and better. Just think about being well, healthy, and living a long, healthy, wellness-filled life. So the longevity revolution.
Mm-hmm. And then just tell me a little bit about how GTX fits into that overall concept. What are you doing to get us there?
Well, our core business is tracking and monitoring technology. So we've been in the wearable space for many years. We're really a pioneer in this space. I think we're the first or amongst the first wearable technology companies out there. So we focus specifically on people with cognitive memory disorders, such as Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, traumatic brain injury. And most of these people had something very similar in common, is that they have a tendency to get lost and disoriented, so they need constant oversight. But you can't give them a phone or a tracking device or put something on them because they will discard it, they'll lose it. So we built the world's first invisible GPS tracking device. We embed the device inside of an orthotic insole, and the wearer doesn't even know that it's on them, and their caregivers, whether it's a family member or a professional, will know at all times where they are. And we filed a lot of patents for this. And we, before the iPhones or the Galaxy phones even came out. So we were really a pioneer in the whole GPS tracking space. And the longevity revolution plays into this, whereby we will be adding other medical devices, wearable medical devices, and connecting them all to our footwear platform.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fascinating. And actually, that does solve a lot of problems as we see the society age, and we're going to be dealing with these things, it looks like, for a while. And now you mentioned you filed patents early on. So how does all of that history and all the work and the research and everything you've been doing position GTX for the future?
Well, it really positions us very well for a number of reasons. So, like I said, we filed a lot of patents, some of them as early as 2002, 3, and 4. So even before the iPhone was ever invented and launched. So that gives us a real good competitive advantage and edge in terms of the positioning of wearable tracking and monitoring technology. We also have this incredible platform that we've built from scratch, where we have our own cellular connectivity, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. We packetize the data in a secure manner and send it up to the cloud. Again, it's totally secured. So what that how that best positions us is by adding other wearable devices such as health rate monitors, temperature reading, oxygen intake. So just think about blood pressure, all these different monitors and sensors that could be attached to the body that currently are connected to an iWatch or something like that. We're going to connect all these devices to our footwear platform. What that does is it ensures that the person is always going to be collecting this data, because every time they go outside, they're putting their shoes on and they've got this platform of ours under their foot that's collecting all this data. The key point of this is that it's all secure. You're not going through big tech. We're not going through Apple and Google and Facebook. We're controlling the path of that data. And we believe that's about 5 to 10% of the world's population either cannot use a phone because of, again, autism, traumatic brain injury, Alzheimer's, dementia, or absolutely don't want their data to be passed through big tech. So that's our focus. It's a big market. We estimate the size of that market currently to be around 100 million people. We've identified 20 countries so far that we are currently in selling product to and have active distributors in those countries. And that's what the future holds for us. We've got a great IP portfolio, we've got a great hardware, software platform, and we're going after what everybody wants, to live a better quality of life and a longer, better life.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Patrick, for coming with this update today. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, Jane. My pleasure.
This is New to the Street, your weekly hack with Elaine Guy. Elaine's with GlobeX Data, the leader in SWISF-hosted private and secure communications and data management. Welcome, Elaine.
Thanks, Anna. Welcome to all our viewers as well.
All right. So if you're all about secure communications, let's talk about what's unsecure out there, right? Like this recent article with Mac users, so many millions of Mac users, including myself, who happen to use Zoom, happens to almost all of us. And guess what? We hear that they're listening, even when you're not on a Zoom video. How is this possible? And what do we do to protect our data and our privacy?
Well, it's funny because Zoom every few months has an issue, whether they sell your data to Facebook, they get fined by the European Union. But, you know, these fines are like 50, 100 million. That's a drop in the bucket for them. So what's happening is that when you install an application, you have to authorize your microphone because you want to basically people to hear you, and of course your camera. You should always set your default so that the app needs to ask permission. It's a bit of a pain because every time you need to reset the thing to privacy, but then after that, when you want to have a conference call, it's going to ask you, do you authorize a microphone? And when you do that, even when the app is not in use, essentially they listen to you. Now, Zoom, it's an interesting story because it's a Chinese-made software. It's very well known that most of their developers are in China. This is way before they went public. I've known Zoom and have used it for maybe 10 years. I think the management, the CEO, the founder is Chinese. And a lot of that data actually has gone to China as well. I've read reports, obviously, because whatever, they monitor. Anyway, Facebook actually, talking about China, Facebook, once in a while when there's somebody saying something, let's say, not very positive about the Chinese regime, Facebook, I saw yesterday an interesting report in French because, they have very good investigative reports. And it said that their account was frozen for 24 hours. So you can't criticize the Chinese government. You can't criticize their dictatorship. Now you have all your data. I read an article today that all of the DNA of US citizens is already in the Chinese hands. Besides you guys buying COVID tests from China, you also have the entire database of Americans that has been siphoned. So it's just unreal. And this is just another extra layer of craziness when you can't even trust your computer being on. Right.
And it's only getting worse. I mean, you're shedding a light on a lot of this stuff going on, and it's making change, but this is only going to get worse. Now, let's go right into what you guys are doing with Secure. You're launching your own video platform. Is that correct?
Yes, so we are launching in Q2, which is April, May, June-ish, Secure Voice, which at least you'll be able to call someone. Remember, we never ask for your phone number on top of it, so you'll be able to invite someone, text them and say, hey, chat with me. You'll have the voice conversation. Again, we never data mine. We don't use open source. We don't host with big tech, so nobody has that data except us in Switzerland with our own equipment, which the data never gets sold or rented to anyone. And we're the only ones managing our equipment. That's another important thing, because we don't use third-party suppliers and contractors, etc. So I'm hoping that by the end of June, we're going to have Secure Pro. Now, Secure Pro is really going to be finally the ultimate in video conferencing and privacy. I suspect a lot of businesses will use that, executives, governments. We have already people inquiring about that, and even private citizens that want to have private conversations that don't want that conversation to go to China or siphon to Facebook or somebody overseas listening to it, even when you're not using the app. The other thing about our application is that we don't store anything on the app. We have kind of this barrier, and the technology that we use is called a tunneling technology. Our Helix technology. So essentially, when you connect to do a video call, we will all be in Switzerland, essentially, and that data, you kind of connect like not a VPN, it's much more complex and secure than a VPN, and then we all communicate, and it's basta, we're done.
Thank you again so much for helping keep our data private and secure with all that you're doing at Secure. Thank you so much for joining us again on New to the Street, Elaine.
Information, truth is power, is freedom, is money, is health, is Newsmax. Millions watch it for free. So can you. No paywall, no subscription. Newsmax is real news for real people.
When was the last time you went through a drive-thru? Now, when was the last time you ordered fruits or vegetables from their menu? That's the problem we are facing every day. Unhealthy, processed foods are readily available at every street corner, but it's getting harder and harder to get whole, natural produce into our diets. That's why Balance of Nature exists. Balance of Nature is a special blend of fruits and vegetables chosen to provide the highest nutritional value possible. By taking just 3 fruit and 3 veggie capsules, you get the equivalent of all of the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables in just a few seconds. Get fruits and veggies in your diet today by calling 1-800-246-8751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code Newsmax.